don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, hands turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every damn your body got that over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Put your head up, nails up, when you put that clothes on. Why you gotta look so good, with your hair up, nails down, when you put that clothes on, girl. Why you gotta look so good?
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope everyone's having a fun day Sunday. That song you just heard, that's Slick, and that song is called So Good. You know, I managed to see him over the weekend on Friday. He was performing at Tavern on LaGrange. He was fabulous. He did two sets, like an hour and a half, 2 hours each. And he was absolutely fabulous. Again, his name is Slick, Slique. He's been out a long time doing R&B and pushing those positive vibes. If you're listening now, I want you to comment. Tell me hello, 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 hi, hi. Come on, I want to see your comments. So please put in the comment box. I'll try to acknowledge all of them that I can. And good evening again, beautiful people, and thank you for tuning in to the Voices of Change, only on Intellectual Radio, the house that Earl built. As you all know, Earl is a Black entrepreneur and the owner of Intellectual Radio. My name is Jan, and I'll be your host this evening. Now, I'm sure everyone had a great week. I'm praying that you did. If you didn't, I'm sure it'll get better. The good thing about life, it's never stagnant. But did any of you, I know a lot of the women probably saw it. If there's females on here, come on, give me comments. Say, hey, what did you think about the Janet Jackson special? I enjoyed it. I watched both nights, but I'm in an era where I remember all that. I remember all that from Control to now. So seeing it was kind of a historic walk too. But it was a couple things in the special that they brought out that they highlighted. Many of us knew it. Some of the things you may not have known. Some of the things she may have added clarity to. But I was glad she was able to control her own narrative. Some of the things that were brought up was, this kind of surprised me a little bit, but it was 69. When they moved to LA, the family experienced racism. She said they experienced racism in the schools. She said when they moved to the neighborhood. But I guess, when they became these stars, I guess that changed a little bit. Also, her body image issues were often exacerbated by her siblings. I don't know. I didn't know how to respond to that. I don't know if it's just, brothers teasing. She even said that they weren't doing it maliciously, but I don't know. She said he called her pig and horse, and she would laugh too, but maybe he was just doing it affectionately. Her first marriage, she had her first marriage to gain independence. I thought that was interesting. She was, 18? It makes sense. And this one, she finally shut down the longstanding rumors of a secret baby with James DeBarge. Well, even though they think she shut him down, I heard a lot about it today. Social media was buzzing. And even the girl was on MSN, and she said that she couldn't watch it because she said Janet knows what happened. I don't know. I listened to both sides, and it doesn't make sense. Why is that something she would lie about at this time? I don't know. Another thing was Paula Abdul helped Jackson find her star power through dance. I did know that. Rhythm Nation was considered a risk because it was socially conscious. If anybody on listening remember Rhythm Nation and know the lyrics, it was hot. Jackson's ex-husband, Renee, inspired her sexier image. I thought that was interesting. Normally men try to kind of turn that off, sort of, because at one point she really, even in her, when she was on stage, she was extremely sexy. And then she said there was a shift in her relationship with brother Michael after Thriller. That was like, I think that was his top hit. Thriller was the one that put him over the top. And it's unfortunate. She even said that the family tried to connect with Michael, and Michael's people kept them apart. And that's what people do when they control it. You hear about men doing the same thing to women, or I guess vice versa. So, and this last thing was interesting. This was interesting because I remember the 2004 Super Bowl. I was watching it. It was at a Super Bowl party, so I wasn't watching it so much. I was waiting for halftime, and she was halftime. So I was kind of watching it, and I didn't remember really seeing that part where she was exposed. I looked at it today. I found it. It's all over now. Now it's on Google, or you can Google it and see it. And I think the thought was that she did it intentionally because, again, she was into this. She was, portraying this sexier image, but it didn't look like she did. It looked like it was a total mistake. And I'll be honest, it looked like he ripped the thing off. He just ripped it. But she urged Justin Timberlake to stay silent amid the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show controversy. I thought that was interesting because apparently she told him that they were coming for her. So there's no reason for both of them. I don't know. I guess that's a real friend. Everyone knows that I read scriptures every show. Today it's going to be one of my favorites from Jeremiah 29, 11 through 13. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Then you will call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Well, I want to hurry up and get to our show and our special guest. Our special guest is Maryam Muhammad. She is a mover and a shaker right here in the city of Chicago. She's an author, radio host, a biology teacher, EMT, a motivational speaker, and I can't wait to bring her on. But first, you have to listen. You just have to listen to this. Listen to just a few little facts about this lady. When you talk about I'm every woman, just listen to this and I'll bring her on. Maryam K. Muhammad is a creator and founder of the Heal Thy Life Center, a nonprofit foundation dedicated to educating women and children on living healthier lifestyles. The Heal Thy Life organization provides workshops, health seminars, and maintains social media platforms that facilitate a vast array of services based on the simple principle of your life is valuable. Take charge. The addition of the Heal Thy Life online magazine in 2015 has helped to expand the foundation's reach to over 1,000 readers for each of its first 4 editions. As a gifted orator, motivational speaker, and now published author, Mrs. Muhammad has addressed audiences of all sizes, from small, intimate circles to audiences of nearly 1,000. Her inspiring words offer practical guidance for women and girls in a variety of contexts, and have been known to leave participants empowered to make changes for the better. In her first book, Why I Am Enough, you will find a variety of topics, reflections, and even activities. They are written with transparency and authenticity on the part of the writer. What you see are insights of her mind that are a result of her personal life experiences, but also a response to many of the women and girls she's worked with over the years. Her life-changing chapters, such as affirming myself to a new way of living and overcoming the difficulties life may bring, just to name a couple, have inspired many in their self-healing journey. One of Maryam's other passions is empowering women professionally. She has organized and hosted several networking events for entrepreneurs, served on various panels for entrepreneurs, provided coaching for first-time business owners, and more. All of these things have been accomplished while hosting her own radio show and expanding Heal Thy Life with both community and business partnerships with companies like Focus Fairies Mentoring, Anonymous Financial Empowerment, and the Chicago CRED. In addition, Maryam is still very much invested in the community she served. As such, she continues to maintain professional license as an emergency medical technician, certification as a CPR instructor, and currently also serves as a high school biology teacher. The combination of these skills, in addition to her current studies in naturopathic medicine and nutrition, are an indication of her commitment to constantly qualifying herself to meet the needs of those whom she desires to serve. Her work has placed her in high demand and taken her all across the country to share her skill set and passion. More importantly, her travels have afforded her multiple opportunities to partner with other organizations, schools, and private circles to touch the lives of women and young people in a variety of urban settings. The release of her highly anticipated book, The Power to Break Generational Pain, in 2020, is a response to multiple requests to capture her words. The book is a collection of reflections, healing, affirmations, and aha moments that the author has experienced while working with women. It is an additional yet invaluable tool that Mrs. Mohammed uses to continue her divine mission as a catalyst for the empowerment of women. Help me welcome two voices of change on intellectual radio, Maryam, Khalilah Mohammed. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're laughing. Why are you laughing? You're like, who is that
Because
person?
every time I hear people read like my bio and stuff, I'm sitting here like, that's me. Like, wow.
I know. And that's like when you say every woman, and this is what you're doing currently, that is every woman plus. I mean that, and I could add something to that because I don't remember exactly how I met you. But I know I saw you on social media, and I see a lot of people on social media. And you were the most empowering, positive, always dropping these nuggets. Someone that everyone wants to meet. And I said, let me hit her up. I mean, you're just that kind of person. So you have gifts. You found them, and you're walking in your assignment. What a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It
It
is.
is.
I'm
That's a
grateful. I'm
that's
very
a
grateful.
beautiful thing. I want anyone who is in the listening audience to please make your comments, say hello to our prestigious guest, say hello to me. I look forward to hearing from you. We're going to start our interview right now with all that going on. Woo! And you have do you okay? And if you don't want to answer it, that's fine. Do you have a family?
Yes. Mhm.
I mean, kids.
Yes. Yes, I have 5, including a set of twins.
Oh, a boy and a girl.
Yeah, boy and girl.
Oh,
Boy
that's
and girl.
nice. Okay, so the first question: How do you balance? How do you balance life,
Yeah.
home, and work? How do you balance all that?
I think part of it really is just having the blessing of working your purpose,
Mm,
working in the mission. So it kind of makes everything flow together. So
okay.
I don't feel like there's a separation between home life, school, work. Everything really complements. It really, really complements each other. So I find myself, of course, as women, times we need breaks.
Yeah.
We have to know I gotta let go. I need
Yeah.
a break. I need a breather. That would be the only separation. The time where I need me time.
Right. 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 Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
But,
other than that,
that's a good answer. It kind of all weaves together because you're in your
yeah, it
purpose.
does. It really does. It does.
If you could go back in time,
Mhm.
would you choose the same path?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. Because I really feel like my path was chosen for me.
Mm,
So I feel like it was just the choice of being obedient to what my destiny is, what I'm supposed to do in life. So I'm not ashamed of things that happen in my life. As people look back and they say, oh my God, I made this mistake, I made that mistake. Everything that happened to me in my life, everything that happened in my life served the purpose. It made me who I am today. So I would definitely, definitely, yep, I would stay obedient to the course, right? I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing.
wow.
Yeah.
What was the best moment? If you were to look back, what was the best moment to date? Because you got more best moments to come, but what was the best moment of your life?
You know, there's so many,
Wow.
because I feel like there were so many moments in my life where God showed up and showed out. So the reason why I say there's so many is because every time that I had an experience in my life where I can bear witness to, God will show up, is a beautiful moment for me. So when I was 10 and I fell and broke my arm and leg, they said my leg wouldn't grow anymore. And I grew 6 inches evenly that summer. Okay. I mean, like when I tell you, showed up and showed out, they tried to diagnose me with glaucoma when I was a child. So I'm supposed to be blind right now. When I was 18, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. They cut off a piece of my cervix and told me that I would have a problem with carrying children full term. As I just stated, I have,
Apparently that didn't happen.
including a set of twins that I carried for 40 weeks. So, I'm like, my even talking to you right now, my jaw was broken when I was 18, and I still have like a little bit of a scar. But they said that I would talk with a slur. And because my nerves in this area are dead, so I have no feeling in that area. But God showed up and showed out. So I'm like, I'm so grateful. After I had my daughter, a couple of weeks later, I was hospitalized. They said I was 48 hours from death. I had blood clots throughout my left leg, one in each lung and one in my heart. I had almost an identical episode 2 years ago. Blood clots throughout my left leg, this time two in one lung. And again, God showed up and was like, I got you. I got you. So it grew my faith.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm like, I have so many moments that I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for life because I feel all of those moments really define how God saved my life again and again and again. So I'm forever in his debt, and I'm just grateful, very grateful.
Well, tell me, was there any particular moment that you think changed your life forever? Have you always been this spiritual? I mean, a lot of us have been, some of us weren't. What changed your life forever?
I haven't always been this spiritual. I was the little thug in school. I was the little troublemaker. I was the fighter. I was doing all of those things. And so I would say, God, there's still so much. It's so much. But I will say, I think that when my jaw was broken, I was straddling the fence, as my cousin put it. I was straddling the fence, and it was at that moment when doctors was like, I wouldn't be able to speak and things of that nature. And I was like, you know what? God is going to restore my voice because I got to speak for him.
Oh,
And I said, at this moment on, as long as I have life in me, as long as I have breath in me, I would speak for him on his behalf. So that was a shift in my life for me. So I always say at that moment, God knocked some sense into me.
so the jaw was like a sucker punch.
Right.
Wow. I don't know if that would be. Would that jaw being broke? Was that the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome?
No. Oh no.
It wasn't?
No.
Okay.
No. Not by a long shot. Oh wow. I've had a lot of challenges in my life, dealing with family structure, family dynamics, dealing with from even personal, from my mom, my dad, my parents separated when I was 5. So that struggle, my mother, she lost her mother when I was 3, but she lost her father when she was pregnant with me. Her and my father separated when I was 5. So that was 3 traumatic events for her in 5 years. So I went through a lot of verbal abuse at home growing up, just trauma, the lash of trauma that my mom went through, who at that time didn't know how to handle it properly. So of course, me being the closest thing to her, I was the one that everything, yeah, absolutely. And to this day, I don't hold a grudge against her because I understand that at that moment in her life, she did what she thought was best.
Right.
Women, we go through a lot. So I understand, and even the path that God has placed me on, I understand women's pain. So for me, it's, oh gosh, the struggle of, even at one point in my life, it was my husband and I, we were renting from someone who didn't own the property.
You were
So
renting from
we
someone?
wound up,
Okay.
they didn't even own the property.
You were subleasing.
That
yourself.
was so
Yeah.
yes. And we had wound up having to live with family for a time frame, and during that time frame, having to struggle to establish our own. We were blessed to purchase a home and rehab it, but through that process, oh, it was rough. It was very rough. And as I watched the rehab of the home, tearing the structure down, I compared that to life. I said, wow, we get torn down, sometimes all the way down to the bearing. Like, I'm looking at the bone, the frame of the house.
Right.
And I'm like, I know there are moments in my life that I can say I was torn down. And only God could have built me. Only He could have rebuilt me from that moment. So watching the house, the walls being put back up, I was like, that's my life. So I'm watching another phase of life develop now. And it was tough. Oh, it was tough. I would come to work some days. My best friend, she was a teacher at MUI with me, and I would come into her classroom and just cry. Oh, I would stand there and just cry. And if she didn't see me every morning, she would come looking for me just to make sure I was okay, because she knew that process was rough. Because I'm looking at my children sleep on the floor. I'm like, I'm grateful we had a place to stay. Family took us in. But at that moment, it's like, being a mother and you want to nurture your babies, it just crushed me. So, and I knew my husband was fighting, he striving hard to create this new reality for our family, but going through it, it was rough. It was rough.
But the beauty of having rehab and having something reconstructed and having it torn down to the bare, when it's reconstructed, it's made brand new and better. And more, so that's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Yeah. But that was rough.
I guess so, yeah. I felt it when you were talking about it. I kind of felt it. I felt it in your voice. I want you to think about this one.
Okay.
Who has been your most important professional mentor? Have you had mentors like the teacher you mentioned? Who's the most important professional mentor?
I haven't had many mentors.
Oh, wow. And you mentor people all the time.
Yes. I've had really close women in my life. Really close. Like, that sister that you need, that got you. I've had those. I have those. But mentors,
Okay.
And that for me, it really bears witness to a lot of times when women say it's just me and God.
Right. They're just making their way through.
Yeah, it's me and God. It's me and God. I've had moments in my life where the Honorable Ms. Louis Farrakhan has mentored me. Yes, absolutely. Okay. For religious base, for spiritual base, of course, for personal things. Professional, no. More so developing who I am and helping me to understand. Because he was introducing to me of my grandmother being alive in me. So he's been mentoring me in that spiritual aspect of understanding her energy and her essence that resides in me. So that for me, man, that's the best mentor I could have ever received. Best mentoring I could have ever.
A life mentor. It's definitely better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Professional is temporary.
Yeah.
Very, very temporary.
Yeah. I've
Okay,
come
so
across some beautiful people professionally.
yeah. Oh yeah, because you're doing so many things as business owners and entrepreneurs, and but I'm just surprised that no one kind of took you under their wing and mentored you.
No,
Hmm.
no. I'm still waiting for that moment.
They're probably coming. They're probably coming. Tell me
Yeah.
about the Heal Thy Life organization.
So with Heal Thy Life, what we do is we work with women and girls. We deal with past pain, abuse. A lot of us on the Heal Thy Life team have gone through these things ourselves. So we mother the moms, the young moms,
Where do you
the
find them from?
teenagers in high schools. We go to the alternative high schools, some of the really bad high schools in Chicago as well. The principals have called us.
Oh,
We've also visited shelters, women's shelters, homeless shelters for women and children. We go there as well. YWCA has invited us. We've dealt with their women as well. So a lot of organizations do reach out to us and give us the opportunity to come in and service their women and girls.
okay. Heal Thy Life. So you're actually taking them to a point towards healing or to heal them
Yes.
when from their
Yes.
brokenness, assuming that they're broken or
Absolutely. Absolutely.
now I'm going to ask you about something I saw on social media, and I hope you posted it. You said something about you lost 30 pounds.
I
And you
did.
also said something, it's two things. And you also said something about now you're eating or attempting to eat. I don't know if it was something you were trying or fasting once a day. Is that right or no?
So I actually eat every other day.
Huh?
Yes. so
Okay.
it's every other day.
Wait. So there's a day you don't eat anything? You take nothing in, water, nothing?
Yes, water.
But no
Water,
food, tea?
tea. I don't like coffee, so just water and tea, but no food. Mm-mm. Nothing that'll start the digestive system.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so if you don't eat this day, then what do you eat the next day? 3 meals or one meal?
Nope, one. So what I do is, and it all of this comes from How to Eat to Live, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad books, How to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2, where he guides on eating 1 meal a day or 1 meal every other day. So I do the 1 meal every other day, probably for the last 3 months now, I think.
How do you feel?
Oh, I feel great.
Okay, so how did you feel when you first did it?
I was
Did you
weighed
drink?
down. I was weighed down physically and spiritually.
Hmm.
So, and then with me being in school, I can see the difference. My mind is clearer. Even when I study, I'm retaining information better now than I was before. My energy is up higher now. So I definitely feel the difference. And even eating 1 meal a day, I always maintained a nice level of energy. But
Okay.
last year in June, I had a hysterectomy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going through different paths to heal my body and to heal me spiritually as well. Because, of course, any woman thinking, when that happens, you
You
think, oh,
hear
I
all
lost
this
my
stuff. Yeah.
uterus. Yeah, and no.
Yeah.
So I went through all of that. And then about 3 months ago, I was like, you know what? My husband did it first. He went on it first. Well, our oldest son started it first last year in January.
Okay.
Then my husband started maybe about 5 months ago. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I just
Every other day.
Yeah. I was like, just started doing it.
And
Yeah.
did you lose 30 pounds doing that, or just from just not eating, just no calories except once a day?
I want to say I lost maybe 15 pounds.
Okay.
I've been doing that. I was on a journey of losing weight since the surgery.
Oh, maybe that was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that was like cutting sugar out of my diet, really being mindful of what I was eating,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature, and exercising, of course.
So you eat. This is just interesting to me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around. Okay, so you eat every other day. So the day that you're not eating or fasting, you can only take in things liquid that won't restart your digestive system, water, tea, whatever. And then the next day, when you can eat, you're eating 1 meal that day.
Yep. Yep.
So what are you eating, like dinner?
Yes. So dinner, I have a full course meal. So I'm having soup. I'm having navy bean soup. I'm having a salad. I'm having whatever my meal may be. I don't eat meat, so
You don't eat
vegetables.
meat either?
Mm-mm. No, I
Oh.
don't.
No chicken, no fish.
I've been off of meat actually for some years now. Fish, I kind of bounce back and forth.
Okay.
Um, so sometimes, I might have some fish with vegetables and some source of a carb, if you will. Like I might have some rice, or some days I might have pasta. It just depends on what I have a taste for.
I know meat does make kind of weigh you down. I will agree with that, but just one meal a day and no.
Yes, I actually got off of the meat when I had developed fibroids.
Okay. Fibroids does that. That's what kind of kicks. That's what they say. I
Yeah.
have fibroids too. A lot of Black women have fibroids.
Yes. Yes.
So, and that was, and I remember you sharing that on social media. That was a good thing.
Yeah.
You're also a radio host. Tell me about that. You're my radio host sister.
So we did it for a time frame. We had a blog talk radio show. So we were doing so much with Heal Thy Life, like experimenting over here and experimenting over there. So we did the radio show for a time frame, just pretty much giving information about health, spiritual awareness, healing tips, anything we could think of to continue to reach out to God's women and help heal God's women. So whatever we could do under the sun, we were doing.
You just did it all. So you're also, my gosh, you have done so much because you're also an author.
Yes, yes, that's my heart.
And you have the book is out there. People can purchase it.
Yes.
And the first one I want you to talk about, I haven't read either one, sorry, but the
No.
first one is why I am enough.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Tell me about, and someone mentioned I'm hungry just listening to you. She was making me hungry too. I was trying to figure out, wait now, I could do one meal a day, but one day I'm not going to eat nothing. And then the next day I'm going to eat one meal.
Yeah. You get used to it.
How long does it take for you to get used to it? 21 days or 7 days? 3 days?
For me personally, like my first 3 weeks was cool. But when I hit that fourth week, for some reason, my body was like, whoa, we doing this for real? Like,
okay.
So like my fourth, fifth week was a struggle. I just had to keep pushing. I just kept, I'm stubborn. So it's hard for me to give up when I start something.
And when you got to that point, you just kept going.
I was like, you know what? I'm not stopping. Talking to the inner me, like, stop it. We doing this for real. This is
right. This is for real, right? As they say. Okay, so tell me about why I am enough.
So
what is that about?
Why I am enough. Oh gosh, I was going through a lot in my life at that moment too. That book really came out of and actually it was as I was with my in-laws actually when I wrote that book. So
you're in the rehab?
Yes. So I was going through that as well. And just being around women for years, of course, the process of the mentoring and the healing and I came to a point in my life where I was like, you know what? We need to know that we are enough. So many times we look at ourselves and it's like, I'm not pretty enough, or my hair isn't straight enough. It's not long enough. I'm not thin enough. It's like, stop it. You are enough. So that's why I wrote it and I put personal struggles in there, things that I've gone through in my life, because I wanted to define how I got to the point of understanding I am enough.
Did you always feel like that? Because all of us feel like I'm too this or I'm too that, or I don't have those things. Have you ever felt like that?
Yes, absolutely. Growing up, I was the ugly duckling. So I had two cousins on each side of the dynamic, where one was biracial. So it was the light skin and the wavy curly hair. And so I ran to perm my hair and my mother kept telling me, stop it. Like, stop it.
Your
Then
mama
I
was
had the other cousin that, you know, she was considered to be so beautiful, and, you know, so you couldn't level up. So I was the tomboy, and you wouldn't find me in dresses or skirts or none of that stuff. And I was just like, whatever, like, I'm rolling.
I am what I am, right?
So yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I've struggled with a lot of things in my life when it comes to appearance wise. Yeah, it took me a while. Took me a while to get to the point where I was just like, you know what? I can look at myself in the mirror and say, I love you. I love what I see. I accept what I see. If I feel like I'm weighing a little bit overweight or whatever, just lose a couple of pounds. You know,
It's easier said than done, but okay.
no, it is. No, it is. It absolutely is. It is. I've learned that turning, you know, once you turn that 40-ish, I've learned that. I've learned that. And so I'm like, because throughout my life, even after pregnancies, I never had a problem with losing the weight.
6 weeks you snap back, right?
I did. I honestly did. But it was like once I hit like around 42-ish, I was like,
wrong.
I was like, something is wrong. Like, I can't eat my chocolate like I want to. I can't. I'm like, I'm getting acne. I'm getting.
Yeah.
What is all this? So yes, I've gone through some things. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm learning even about alopecia. My mom had it really bad, but I developed it during my college courses, actually. And
Alopecia?
so like, well, I developed part of it through the rehab process, because I literally lost like a big chunk of in the back of my head.
Did you go to a dermatologist?
I did. And she explained to me that I had the form of alopecia that was stress related. So it grew back. So, but then I woke up one morning and my whole left eyebrow was gone. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, nobody told me this was going to happen to me in life. Could I have gotten a warning? And my dermatologist was like, you have to learn how to deal with stress. And I'm like, apparently so, because my body is not communicating with me right.
Wow.
So,
and I've had the same thing from wearing wigs. Wigs, they get real tight around the edges, and you start developing. And the dermatologist will say, "Well, you know what? You got to come out of them. You have to let." It's like
yes.
But I didn't know stress could do, and I didn't know your eyebrow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't know it either until I experienced it. I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what we're doing now." Wow. So yeah.
Okay, so in the Why I Am Enough, you said that there's life-changing chapters that touch the lives of others. With me not having read it yet, highlight some of those chapters. Oh, I didn't know you had. Oh, I didn't know. You know what? I couldn't even tell you had. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Highlight some of those chapters. It's so pretty. I just thought it was your hair. I didn't know.
Oh, thank you. So the life-changing chapters, the affirmations that are in there, that pretty much, you know, I did a lot of stuff in poetry form. So, you know, there's a rhythm to it because I wanted to connect to the rhythm of the body. So there are some poems that talk about our African roots. There's some that, and it's affirmations, but it's in poetry style. And it talks to the one who was raped, the one who, you know, felt like you were not attractive for whatever reason, or, you know, you go through things in life and you feel like you're in a dark period of time. So where do you find the light when you're surrounded by darkness? So I deal with different point of views, if you will, in dealing with those aspects, those trials in life that we go through. And I'm talking to women, but I've been told by men that apparently I'm talking to them too. Wasn't my motive,
you know? Intention, but
right, wasn't my intention,
which is good.
But yeah, so but I really was coming from an area connection that I felt spiritually I had with my grandmother, and
Who
I
is your
felt
grandmother?
my
Is she?
grandmother was Sister Bernstein in the Nation of Islam. She is very intricate in the history of the Nation of Islam. She was the first MGT captain, the first of the 9 laborers who set up the Nation of Islam in the
And that's
1930s.
your grandmother?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
So my
that's why they kept
grandmother,
okay, because they referenced your grandmother. I'm like, who is she?
yeah,
Oh,
my grandmother played she was a very strong woman, and very intricate roles in building the foundation of the Nation of Islam.
have you always been part of the nation since you were a kid?
I accepted for myself at
Oh,
20, I think. I think
okay.
I was
Okay.
20. Yeah, I grew
Okay.
up in Islam,
Okay.
but I was a rebel. I was a rebel. I did my thing. That's why I
Okay.
said, I'm not ashamed of anything, because if I didn't take that route, I wouldn't be able to relate with the women out here in these streets.
That's true.
So yeah,
That's true.
I'm very grateful.
That's true. Oh, so that was your grandmother. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how can I get my hands on this book? Is it on Amazon? Is it on?
So my book, The Power to Break Generational Pain, is on Amazon. Amazon
Okay.
couldn't make Why I Am Enough in the size that I have it. So those actually are purchased through, I have to put them back on my website. I do have some in stock though.
Oh, on your website. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your
So
website?
it's heal HEAL-THYLIFE.com. So
Oh,
healthylife.com.
okay. That's a good one. Okay. Cool.
Yes, yes, yes.
Where are we at? Why I am enough? You empower women and work with other organizations. And some of them I've never heard of. So tell me about some of those collaborations with Focus Fairies, mentoring, and
Yes,
anonymous.
they mentor young girls. So a lot of times
Oh,
we partner with mentoring organizations,
mhm.
and we come in and do services for their girls.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not trying to tell all your business. Okay, so I understand that you're an EMT and a biology teacher.
Yes.
Okay, so where do you teach at?
Muhammad University.
Okay, and your EMT, do you still do that? Are you still an EMT?
So
Okay.
I have, at this point, I use my EMT training to train young people out
Oh,
on the
good.
streets on how to respond to gunshot wounds.
Oh, dear.
So to do trauma training, because I love trauma. And of course, I'm in school to further that. So
And what you wait. What are you? What are you? Don't get on here and be shy, because I'll tell. What are you in school for?
So I'm in school for actually to become a dietitianist and nutritionist.
Okay.
And I've just added to my plate I love psychology. So I actually won my PhD to be in psychology.
Yes, that's what I heard.
Yeah. I love psychology. I'm
Do
like,
you really?
yes, I love the study dealing with the mind.
I took abnormal and I hated it. It was so weird. Abnormal psychology. Ugh.
I love it.
Someone has to do it. That's good.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's gonna help us heal. It's gonna help us heal.
So, well, yeah, because a lot of it is rooted in mental health issues. So
yeah,
I guess someone got to do it. I hated it. but so when I talk, let me. How are you just getting in the program now, or have you been in the program?
So for the dietitian nutritionist program, the goal is to enter it actually January of next year. So right now I'm finishing up biomedical sciences and nutrition. So I'm doing a double major right now.
Okay. And then
I'll be finished in the fall with that.
And then you're going to go for your PhD. Because, it's kind of interwoven. You think about it, because PhD and nutritionist, you like dealing with trauma, and all those things are interrelated. I mean, think of.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know one of the reasons why I can't lose weight like I should, it has to be in my head, because I was never really young. No, I really believe it is. So they're all related.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's just turning on and off a genetic switch. That happens too. Because trauma is on our DNA. It's cellularly related. Absolutely. So sometimes it's literally that deep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
That's why we need you to hurry up and finish that program. Open up that storefront
I
so I
know
can
that's
be
right.
analyzed. Okay.
Yes.
That's time to do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Okay, so you kind of mentioned this book, but I don't know what it's about. I want you to tell us about the book Break Generational Pain. Is that similar to a generational curse, or is it something totally different?
So not a generational curse.
Okay.
Generational pain. You know how we pass on our pain. And a lot of times as mothers, we don't realize that we're passing on our pain to our daughters. So we may have a situation where the father may have left the mother.
Oh, okay.
And every time you see, the child,
That's
you're
true.
being reminded. Or we have women, of course, who are in situations where, God, it hurt my soul when this third grader told me that I asked her why was she willing to be sex trafficked. And she said, because my mother said she ain't shit and I ain't gonna never be shit. That was her response to me. So it was like, understanding the value of the female and instilling that in us so we can break this cycle of pain that we're allowing our children to go through, because for us it was normal.
We do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Even, our insecurities, we pass those on.
We do?
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely do. So, when you're looking at a young lady, how can I teach my daughter to be beautiful if I can't look at myself and realize that I'm beautiful?
Okay. Yeah.
We pass on our fears. We have certain triggers being around certain types of men.
True.
Men that look certain kind of way. We pass that on to our daughters. Certain characteristics, things that may have been told to us, like, you walk like a whore. So if you see your daughter walk a certain way, you're saying that to her, and it's not true. So, we pass on those fears, insecurities, those low self-esteem, the self-hatred. We pass all of those things on, and we need to break that cycle. Some of it came from slavery and some of it came from before slavery.
Before slavery.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you're dealing with the trauma of women and the pain that women have gone through, think about Hagar. Think about the story of Hagar being put into the wilderness, but her faith got her through. Well, that's us. We're really Hagar in the wilderness of North America. And we have to understand that our faith will get us through. Our faith will get us through. So, reinstilling that value, just to fall in love with who I am. So for the power, dealing with the power to break generational pain. We're dealing with emotions. How do you handle your emotions and not allow your emotions to control you? So we deal with a lot of that in that, and give tips on self-healing. How do I take a moment? So coupled with that, we have a workbook.
Okay.
Called the Healing Workbook. And it's really just taking you through the steps that's in the power to break generational pain, so that you now step by step can understand, how should I heal? What's the best type of healing for me? So, because everything doesn't work for everybody, but we got to learn to be patient. We have to be patient. Yes. Yes. We got to be patient.
Maryam, patient.
Yes. Yes. Because we didn't turn out like this overnight.
That's true.
So we can't expect for it to go away overnight. Some things might, but some things may take time. And the more we fall in love with ourselves, the more patient we are and understanding. I want to lose 50 pounds. Well, you're not going to lose 50 pounds in 24 hours.
That's right. Tomorrow when I wake up, I want to be fit. That's right. You got the right.
It's not gonna work like that.
You say it ain't gonna happen, girl.
But to know that, okay, let me accept the fact that this weight came on over time.
Right.
As long as I'm consistent, as long as I'm focused, as long as I'm disciplined, I can get that 50 pounds off.
You're right. You're right.
So it's a mindset. It's really a mindset. But we got to be taught how to think right, how to know that I'm a positive vessel. I don't need negativity around me. And don't feel bad about dismissing people from your presence.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't deserve to be in your presence. Some people are still learning. I tell some people, you got to earn to be in my presence. You have to earn that time.
I love that.
Because some people are just not ready. And it's not that, I feel like, because I'm better. It's not that. It's that I need you to grow because you're just too heavy right now. You might pull me down. So I need you to heal some. I need you to grow some in order to be able to benefit from the light that God blesses us to cast.
Oh, you spoke a good word today, girl.
I'm like, girl, I promise you, that's how I feel, because I love
they don't
them.
deserve to be. You're right though. Some people, they are draining. They just
misery loves company. And I always tell people, I even put it in my books, I'm not the company misery wants to keep. Because I'm not going to allow you to stay miserable. It's not who you are. God didn't create us to be in pain. There's two types of pain. There's a pain that's supposed to, now it inspires you. It stimulates movement. Mm-hmm. That type of pain we're supposed to have. It creates growth. But then there's a pain that gives you stagnation. Now you're fearful. Now you don't want to move. Now you're depressed. No, right. That ain't God's pain. That's somebody else's pain that's been inflicted on you.
Come on.
So we got to understand it. Sometimes it's us inflicting it on ourselves.
But
when we learn the value, because just think about it. And sometimes we do it and we're not conscious of it. But when we're constantly eating, you're inflicting death on yourself in truth.
Oh,
you're killing your insides. You're overworking your digestive system. You're stressing it out. So to understand those mechanics, but first to understand the spiritual side, because to every physical, there's a spiritual side. Yes. So what am I digesting spiritually that's guiding me to death physically? So we got to understand that. So the more we fall in love with who we are, fall in love with this vessel, we want to get this vessel together. I want this vessel to look good. I want God to know that I'm grateful for what he has given me, for the moment he took to create me, that my parents didn't even know I was there yet. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But he was there with me, fashioning and molding. Make it personal. Make it all about you. This is your moment. This is your self-care. I don't feel guilty that Maryam gonna sit back and say, okay, look, this is about me. That's how we all have to be.
You're
to
right.
fall in love with who we are. Don't give up that fight. We were conceived in the conception process. There's a fight, right? The sperm is swimming against the current, trying to find that egg.
Right.
If you look at the sperm underneath a microscope, it's illuminated. It's sparking with electricity. It's the light that's within you. So we are never in darkness. So even when the sperm was surrounded by the darkness of the vaginal canal, it itself was the light.
Oh, we created in light. Oh,
that's you. That's who you are. And when that egg left the ovaries, our ovaries are not attached to the fallopian tube. There was an explosion that took place. That's your first leap of faith. You had faith that you was going to make it to that tube.
That's right.
And you made it because you're here. You're here. God loved you enough to say, let me give this baby life. And you're here. So whenever we feel like, we start second guessing and we trying to figure our way out through life, stop, pause for a moment and go back to the moment it was just you and your creator and ask him, what did you fashion me to be? What do you desire of me?
Come on.
Belong to you, nobody else. So what is it that you desire for me to be? What is my path? Because my path is not my neighbor's path. It ain't the people across the street path. I got my own path. There are billions of stars in the universe. I'm one of them. Say that to yourself. You're not the star that blends in with the darkness. You're the one that stands out where you can be seen at night because you're reflecting the light of God. That's who you are. So never think that you're less. No, we are a gift to this world. No human being can come on this planet unless it comes through the womb of a woman.
Come on now.
That's how special we are as females. Can't nobody mistreat me when God made me a gift. No, you can't mistreat me. I'm a vessel that helps him bring forth life. I'm a co-creator with God. And you telling me I can't pay my bills? I'm assisting to create life. Of course I can pay my bills. I can create some finances because nothing is above the creation of life. So everything else is easy. If we just understand who we are.
Wow.
We can just understand the power. Oh, we are so special. We are so special.
Oh, I bet your kids love you because you are such an inspiration. I feel like I've been to church again. I mean, when you talk about love yourself, it all boils down to love yourself.
That's right. Absolutely. I don't care what religious background you belong to.
That's true.
It's love. Love is our foundation. That's why a lot of times women get hurt. We're just looking for love.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's true.
We're looking for what our nature pulls for. And unfortunately, sometimes when men don't understand how powerful they are, they mistreat the vessel that extends their life.
Oh, come on, girl.
Hey, it's unfortunately how it goes. So we need somebody out here, talking to our brothers, because we're gonna get our sisters right. We gonna be
girl.
right.
You are a vessel. He is using you. Do you talk? Do you do public speaking and stuff? Are you contracted out to public speak for groups, for organizations?
Absolutely.
How do people get in touch with you if they want you to speak for their organization?
Of course, all social media pages, HTLC19, even HTLC19.com leads you to heal-thylife.com.
Oh, wow. That's good.
So, yeah, it's all connected.
Okay.
And people can inbox me. I get messages, people inbox me. People, of course, they call. The business is 708-401-0887. That's the business line. People send emails. I mean, we have all of our contact information up on the website as well. So, yes. When it's meant to be, it happens. So,
yes. Now you have said a word there too. When it's meant, we're just talking about that. When it's meant to be, it happens. When it's your time, it happens.
That's right. That's right.
You have been an inspiration. You went in a little while ago. I was in church. Any good word is church to me. Okay.
Hey, that's right. That's right.
Any good word. Can you believe our time is up already?
That's what happens when you have.
I'm sitting.
It just flies by.
It's like, and I didn't get to get
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay because I know that you're going to even be doing bigger things. I'm expecting you to just, and I know you probably don't even see this. I mean, big stages. You mentioned 1,000. I could see 100,000. So you keep doing what you're doing because there's an anointing all over you. You pour into people. It's hard to pour into someone on video. You know what I mean? But you pour it into people.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
gift. Wow.
Wow.
This is again Maryam Khalilah Muhammad. It has been my honor and pleasure
Oh,
to
wow.
have her on here, not only speaking but preaching and teaching. If y'all didn't hear it, you can listen to it when it plays over again. But she was awesome, and I have to have her back again. I
Yeah.
met her because of her light. You mentioned the light on social media. She is always just positive, and just like you see her smiling now, that's how she's always. I said, how can anybody be like that all the time? But she's always like that. It is my honor to finally, this is my first time talking to you actually. It's an honor to finally meet you face to face. And I look forward to the day when we can meet face to face when the pandemic is kind of settled down
Absolutely.
or whatever,
Absolutely.
and people can go out again.
Yeah,
So keep in touch.
I will.
I'm always watching your social media anyway. So I can probably tell you like you were going to be a doctor and all the little nuggets that I was going to pull out that you didn't want to mention. But I'm always watching you anyway because I'm expecting great things.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure and an
Yes.
honor. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Have a good week, everyone. We'll be back here next week at the same time at 6 o'clock. And thanks for tuning in and share. Be blessed.